All right, good Friday to all of my students. Just doing a little bit of a weekend review, I guess I should say students and parents, those of you who are interested in knowing what your child did this week in Algebra 2. On Monday, January 31st, our objective was just to review the laws of exponents. These were started in Algebra 1. They are section 6.1 of the textbook, so you can refer to that section for examples. On Monday, we did have a shortened class period due to the beginning of the semester. The homework that night was Laws of Exponents worksheet. It was due the next day, on Tuesday. For the warm-up, they had to simplify 3x squared times 2x to the 5th, and the answer for this warm-up was 6x to the 7th, where they multiplied the coefficients and where you add the exponents. On Tuesday, February 1st, we used the laws of exponents to simplify expressions. We actually just got to do finishing the Jeopardy game because we did have a 2-hour delay on Tuesday. So we did not get to any notes. The students did not have homework. The practice 7-1 was actually due on the 3rd, which was not until Thursday. We did have 2 questions for our activator on Tuesday, which is where students had to simplify expressions with their laws of exponents. For number 3, you had to distribute the 3 to the negative 5 and the x to the negative 2nd. So that was negative 5 cubed. Multiply the exponents. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and then x to the 7th. From there, they then had to know that negative 5 cubed was negative 125. And then combining the exponents would give you the value of x, so the answer was D, negative 125x. For number 4, they had to simplify and then again apply that 2 to everything inside those parentheses. So that was 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 3 times negative 2, which was positive 6, over 3 to the negative 2, and y to the positive 8, because they had to multiply the exponents again. The negative 2 exponents means that those switched positions, so the 3 squared went on top, and the 2 squared went on the bottom, and that was x to the 6th and y to the 8th. They stayed where they were because they were not negative. And now simplifying that 3 squared is 9, x to the 6th, over 4, running out of room, y to the 8th. So the answer was actually E for this problem. On Wednesday, February 2nd, the objective was to evaluate the nth roots of real numbers using both radical notation and rational exponent notation. This was section 7.1 in their textbook, so again you can refer there to get extra practice and notes on this. Their homework was practice 7-1, which was the homework from the previous evening that we did not get to, and it was due on Thursday. For this activator, they had to simplify, which is to basically distribute that 4 to everything inside the parentheses. So that was 3 to the 4th. Negative 4 times 4 is x to the negative 16th, and 3 times 4 was y to the positive 12. The negative 16 meant that it had to go on the bottom, and then 3 to the 4th power was 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 4 times, which is 81. So they should have put 81 on the top. The x to the 16th goes on the bottom because of the negative exponent, and the y to the 12th stays on the top. So this should have been the final answer for their warm-up. All right. And then on Thursday, February 3rd, we went over section 7.2 of the textbook, which was evaluating expressions with rational exponents. Again, section 7.2, if you want to refer there for notes. Their homework that evening on Thursday was textbook page 411, numbers 23 through 49 odd, and was due, not the 3rd, that was the day we had it. It was due on Friday the 4th. For the activator on Thursday, they had to evaluate the expressions using radical notation. So they should have known that the 4th root of 24, they could have gotten a decimal for, but they should know that the equivalent form of this is 24 to the 2/4 power, which is actually 24 to the 1/2, which is actually just the square root of 24. And putting that in your calculator, they could have gotten a decimal approximation. For number 2, they should have known to first take the 4th root of 9, which that is indicated by the bottom number in the fraction, and then after they took the 4th root, putting it to the 5th power. Okay, so again, getting a decimal approximation. And then for number 16, to the negative 1/4 is actually 1 over 16 to the 4th power, 1/4 power, excuse me, which is actually 1 to the root 4, 1 over the root 4 of 16, and the 4th root of 16 is 2, so they simplify that to 1/2. On Friday, February 4th, we actually did some practice with all of those combining the laws of exponents, the nth root, and rational expressions. If you notice, the activator for today was the same activator as before, but we actually collected data on that and voted using the active expressions. We checked the homework, of course, from the previous night, and then we completed a chair hop activity. The chair hop activity was a review for the quiz on Monday. I do already have a video posted for that quiz on Monday. Notice that the homework is to study for that quiz on Monday, which is simplifying exponential expressions. This concludes the week in review for January 31st through February 4th. If you have any questions, please contact me via email.